first NBA season. That according to Shams Charania, as CP3 becomes the latest veteran addition to the Clippers, who have also added shooting guard Bradley Beal and power forward John Collins and center Brook Lopez this offseason. RC, you like this for CP3?
Well, I think it's cool for CP3. One, he wanted to get back to LA to be close to his family. I know they were living separate. He was working in San Antonio, but this is about depth. You know, you have Kawhi Leonard. You also have James Harden. They're expecting Bradley Beal to sort of bounce back from what was a downtime in Phoenix, but you need to keep those two big guys healthy in Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, and hope that adding this depth gives you an opportunity to push forward in the playoffs next year.
100%, like you said, finish your career and be right around your
Absolutely.
family. That's got to be tough to be separate there. All right, we'll keep it pushing here.
Hall of Famer Chris Paul is signing a one-year, $3.6 million deal with the Clippers. That's per multiple reports. It'll be a reunion for CP3 and the Clippers, where he played from 2011 to 2017. It is the franchise's all-time assist leader. Paul spent last year with the Spurs and averaged just under 9 points and 7.5 assists per game. He currently has the second most assists in NBA history, trailing only John Stockton. He will be entering his 21st NBA season and just turned 40 years old in May. But the ride is not over for Chris Paul, and we are not done talking about it. We now bring in our NBA expert, Sam Quinn. And Sam, if this is in fact the final year for Chris Paul playing in the NBA like we expected it might be, a return to the Clippers just seems fitting. Are you surprised at all that it was LA and the Clippers that he decided to play with?
No, this has kind of been trending in that direction for quite some time. I think they were waiting to settle up with Bradley Beal first. You know, they wanted to make sure they knew what kind of role they were going to have for him, but he's going to slot very nicely into that backup point guard role. They're one of the deepest teams in the NBA. They might not even have minutes for Bogdan Bogdanović anymore. So I think this is a really nice situation for him and for the team. They have a lot of older players. That depth is going to be really, really helpful over the course of the 82-game season. And he said before free agency began, his priority was to be close to his family back in LA. His family has been in LA since he left the Rockets. He's been all over the country playing for Phoenix, for Oklahoma City, you know, for San Antonio. I think this is a fitting way to end his career, if that's indeed how it happens. Goes back to the team where he probably had his best years. He gets to be near his family. It would have been fun if it would have been the Lakers, you know, him and LeBron finally linking up. But I don't think that really made basketball sense given the way their roster was constructed. The Clippers could actually really use a backup point guard. So I think this is a good fit all around.
Yeah, 6 seasons for Paul with the Clippers, 5 of those All-Stars, 5 of them All-NBA selections. Of course, all the Lob City, all the fun times that we remember when he was with the Clippers. Now running it back again, what can we really expect to see with him from what he has left in the tank? Granted, he did play all 82 games last year with the Spurs.
He started all 82 games for the Spurs, right? He wasn't even just some bit player. It's funny, at players of that age, you sort of expect them to go ring chase, right? Go play 5-8 minutes a game on a championship contender. Chris Paul wanted to play, and I think that was a big part of his decision here. He's going to be the primary backup point guard for the Clippers. You figure he's going to play 15, 20 minutes a game. I think the Clippers, like a lot of the best teams in the NBA, most notably the Thunder, have realized that over an 82-game slog with the sport as intense as it is now, you want to be able to play 10, 11 guys. You want to be deep. You want to keep your guys fresh for the playoffs. So I think he's going to play around 20 minutes a game. I think he's going to be very useful in that role. The Clippers have a little bit of everything now, right? They can go big, they can go small, they can play offense-centric, they can play defense-centric. They can put whatever sort of lineup Chris Paul needs around him. I think they put him in a pretty good position here to go out as not just, you know, the guy deep on the bench on the winning team, but as a real contributor even into his 40s.
So what do you make of this Clippers roster right now as constructed? Because they have been busy this offseason. They have Brad Beal now. They have Brook Lopez. They also have John Collins. So you see this team and what they've done. What type of noise can they make in the West?
Right now, I have them as a strong 4th in the West, right? Last year, they pushed Denver to 7. Denver pushes Oklahoma City to 7. That suggests that they're pretty close, right? Maybe not as close to Oklahoma City, but they have a chance. And they've improved pretty substantially. The 2 big problems last year were backup front court and backup back court, right? Now they get Chris Paul and Bradley Beal to address the offense when James Harden goes to the bench. They get Brook Lopez and John Collins really fortify the front court. They have everything.
Some games to injury, but they won 50 with Kawhi missing like half the year last year. So I don't know if they're quite as good as the Thunder, the Nuggets, or the Rockets, but I think they're within the margin of error where they could push those teams in a series. And if they stay healthy, I think they could be near the top of the Western Conference in the regular season.
Yeah, here we are in July, and I'm already looking forward to October because of all the movement we have seen in this offseason that likely is not even done yet. Sam Quinn, thank you so much as we talk about Chris Paul and his reunion with the Clippers headed over to LA. And there you'll find the Clippers sitting at 17-1 for the odds to win the NBA title, and that's behind teams in the West, which is the Thunder, Rockets, and Nuggets. So maybe Sam's spot on saying he has them as fourth best in the West. Chris Paul, back to LA.
All-time starting lineups that they're putting up there. Who's got the better list here, Tim? This is some pretty recent history that we're talking about.
I was going to say, did they know the NBA existed before 1993? I'm going to take VJ's team.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to take
They're very similar, actually. Iman's face right now. Well, since we're making some picks, Iman,
I'm just confused if they could have everybody avail. I'm just confused.
You know what? I think we're going to chalk it up to age and recent history. But we thought we'd do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm going to give you two options. You're going to pick one. Simple. Iman, you'll start us off here. Two future Hall of Fame point guards are on the available free agent list. So a different list than those guys we're doing here. Who has more to offer a team right now? Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook?
CP, don't hate me. Give me Russell Westbrook. CP, don't kill me. Don't kill me.
Why?
Russell Westbrook is one of the fiercest competitors I've ever gotten to compete against. And when you talk about somebody that will give themselves up and do whatever for the team, I think that he's a little more suited for that position than a Chris Paul would be. Chris Paul's pretty much been dominant with the ball the whole time. That's the way you want him to play, and that's the only way I think he can. I don't think he could play as efficient as Russell Westbrook could.
Everyone who has played with Russ raves about him as a teammate, too. Like, a lot of folks say that they have really enjoyed him on their team as opposed to playing against him. What about the Lakers and the Clippers? They both had some really interesting off seasons. ESPN Bet released their win totals. Lakers over under 48.5. The Clippers 47.5. Tim, who do you think is going to win more games?
The Clippers. The Clippers are clearly the best team in LA. And look, it's not necessarily about star power. Let's talk about the defensive end of the floor. The Lakers have a whole lot of question marks. The Clippers have probably 6 guys on their roster who would be the best defender in that Lakers locker room.
Lakers Clippers this year in Crypto.com Arena could be interesting. All right, incoming Duke freshman, top 3 high school recruit Cameron Boozer. He recently said that Duke is being, quote, overlooked this season. It's not like he already has his locker ready in Portland. He agreed to a 3-year, $42 million contract to return to the Blazers after being waived by the Bucks earlier this month. The 9-time All-Star, he will likely miss the entire upcoming season, recovering from an Achilles injury, but he returns to the team that drafted him in 2012. And I love that they already had the locker room ready for his return. Our senior insider, Shams Charania, is here with more. Shams, there were a lot of teams interested in Damian Lillard. Beyond sort of the heartfelt story, who else was in the mix, and why did he ultimately choose to go back to Portland?
Malika, over a dozen teams made minimum and mid-level exception offers to Damian Lillard. 2 teams in particular, I'm told, that Damian Lillard really considered, and that's the Boston Celtics and the Minnesota Timberwolves. He held calls with both teams at different points, but to be in Portland, back home.
Hello, chào mừng các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Để bắt đầu vào làm thì các bạn sẽ chuẩn bị cho mình những dụng cụ như sau nhé. Ở đây mình có chuẩn bị một tờ giấy màu tím. Tiếp theo các bạn sẽ chuẩn bị cho mình một cây kéo, một cái bút chì, một cái thước này, cuối cùng là một cây sòng bắn keo như thế này nhé. Rồi bây giờ mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn vào làm nhé. Các bạn sẽ đo cho mình kích thước của cái tờ giấy này. Mình sẽ đo nó là 15 cm nha. Rồi các bạn sẽ đo cả ba góc của nó đều là 15 cm cho mình nhé. Bây giờ mình sẽ kẻ nó thành một cái ô vuông này. Rồi mình đã kẻ xong được cái ô vuông này rồi nhá. Bây giờ mình sẽ dùng cây kéo này để mình cắt cái ô vuông này ra nhé. Rồi mình đã cắt xong được cái ô vuông này rồi nha. Bây giờ mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn gấp nó như sau. Đầu tiên thì mình sẽ gấp đôi cái tờ giấy này vào. Sau đó mình sẽ dở nó ra. Rồi các bạn sẽ gấp như này tiếp cho mình. Rồi bây giờ mình sẽ gặt nó ra phần đằng sau này nhé. Các bạn sẽ gập đôi nó lên thành cái hình tam giác cho mình. Rồi mình sẽ dở nó ra. Tiếp theo mình sẽ gấp nó lên đây. Rồi sau đó mình sẽ dò cái phần này ra. Các bạn sẽ gấp 4 cái góc này lại với nhau.